What is going on, you guys? It is James here. I just wanted to give everyone an update how my open went, how that ties into Sanctionals, and really the goals of the channel here. So first off, how my open went, I ended up in about 1500th. I think it's 1539. That placing might change a little bit depending on deductions for 20.4 and 20.5, but 1539 is a pretty good guess to go off of. Given that my goal was 1500, that's exactly where I wanted to be, and I'm very happy, especially considering in February I was about 3400th, so about twice as good, you could think, from then till now. So the training has been going very well, especially given that the training was really only about 4.5 months of training, just because of a lot of life stuff was happening there. So I should really focus on redoing what I've been doing and then adjusting it based upon what the open revealed. Now, what did that open reveal? Well, let's walk through the workouts just one by one. 20.1, fairly straightforward. It really was just a test of my capacity, and as my training gets better over the course of the winter, my capacity will get better. I finished just under 12 minutes, and I think realistically, if I have redone that, I might be able to get like 11 minutes flat. So my goal towards the end of the winter would be hoping to get in that 10-minute range if I redid it. 20.2, I got around 22 rounds, but my real limiting factor there was my double unders. As far as placing went, it was the same as my 20.1. That being said, it was a longer workout. It was better for me, so I think I should have done better with that, but my double unders just weren't there. After around the 10th round, I tripped on every single set of double unders, so that's something I need to work in. But that ties into working on capacity for number one for that first workout, just because in the winter, I'm going to be running less. I can jump rope more. 20.3 was not good for me considering the other workouts. The first time I did it, a year and a half ago, I only got through maybe 13 handstand push-ups. The standard is really not nice to me, but I'm much better at them now. So I managed to get through almost the first whole handstand walk. But that being said, it was more points than all of my other workouts combined. If that had been in line with my other workouts, instead of being 1500th overall, I would have been about 700th overall. So that just shows I really need to work on deadlifts and handstand push-ups. More generally, though, I need to work on shoulders and arms for my presses, and that also ties into all my strict movements, my rope climbs that I've been doing, the strict handstand push-ups. All of that ties together for my comparatively weak shoulders, triceps, forearms, biceps, etc. So that's a big focus of my training. The other one is just for a large guy, I really don't lift too much, so I really need to put my focus again on that. And I'm going to be doing a lot of specifically deadlifts and power cleans in this first cycle going into winter. Moving next, 20.4. I was worried when I saw the workout about all the pistols. I don't do them very often. That being said, I ended up doing all right. They really weren't a concern for me. I think it was more of just a test of capacity rather than can you do pistols. A lot of people hit pistols that didn't know they could. And then I got to the 315 bar. I think the general strength and the pressing will identify this weakness of mine of not being able to clean and jerk too heavy. So I'm not too worried about taking stuff from 20.4 and dissecting it. I'm very happy with how I did. And then 20.5 graced me like 19.1 did. All things that I'm good at. I'm better at ring muscle-ups than bar muscle-ups. And obviously I'm good at rowing, given that I'm a rower and I'm tall-ish. So wall balls are graceful to me. So that was my best workout of the open. That being said, there's still quite a big time gap between me and the best in the world, right? If I want to compete for Sanctionals, I want to try to be competitive with those people, as that's the really only realistic way you can. And what was the main difference there? Well, the main difference there was how much the muscle-ups gassed me and how little they gassed the top people. Now, I've heard some people say, oh, but James, you're big. It's still good that you did that. And yeah, I am. But other people like Pat Vellner are big too, and they finished in around 10 minutes. So that is just general capacity. It's going to be worked up throughout the winter, and hopefully that'll bring me down in time there because I would hypothetically be able to jump on those rings a little bit faster row the same speed, and do the wall balls the same speed. But overall, about 1500th, very happy with how it went. And really it's just moving into the winter, what I'm going to be doing for training. So specifically, I talked about the presses and strengthening of the arms, as well heavy lifting, doing deadlifts, doing power cleans, and really just building up that lower back, glutes, hamstring strength to be able to lift those heavy weights, and moreover lift them heavy weights at a high capacity, as we saw in 20.3. Another thing that I'm going to be working on, which is fairly obvious, is just capacity throughout the winter. And a lot of that capacity will be kind of channeled into rowing, which can always improve, and double unders, because I really need a lot of work on there. So what it looks like my first 12-week cycle or so will be something around the lines of deadlifting 2 times a week, power cleaning 2 times a week, or maybe alternating between 2 deadlifts and 1 power clean, and then 2 power cleans and 1 deadlift week to week. As well, probably starting off the first few weeks with 2 by 15 minute of skill session of double unders a week, and then other stuff like 2 sets of strict work a week, whether it's handstand push-ups, rope climb, just general moving your body weight with just your arms is what I want to work on. And then that's all in addition to my general capacity programming and just general lifting that I'll be following as well. So that's how my open went. I'm very excited for the Sanctionals. That being said, it definitely did kind of maintain my fitness level during this time, as opposed to get better, which I had done leading up to it. And for these events in the spring, their qualifiers, much like the open qualifiers, but they're condensed to a week and with less workouts, are in January. Now, I'm looking at trying to train for 4 to 5 months, so January is going to be coming up much sooner than I anticipated. So I'll gladly do those, and I'll gladly try to do my best, but I don't think that realistically I'll be able to quite qualify yet in January. I'd like to be right about that line, and hopefully I'll be, kind of tickling the spot of getting into it. And then I'll be looking at potentially doing qualifiers towards the end of spring, beginning of summers. So in that frame, where Mid-Atlantics, where Granite Games, where the Rogue Invitational are in April or so, I'd be looking to hit my peak fitness so that I can qualify for events probably at the end of summer, beginning of fall. The ones that we're kind of looking at right now, like the Filthy 150 or in Ireland, or maybe potentially the Dubai Games, something like that would be kind of shifting my focus, because I think to qualify for the ones in spring, which are required to be ready in January, that might just be a little bit fast. But we're going to see. We're going to try our hardest. We're going to work our best and see what we can come out with. Overall, February to now, went from 3,400th to 1,500th. So with the same amount of time, I hope I can crack that top 700 or so. Maybe next open, ideally, it'd be like top 500 to 700. But we'll see how it's going. That's a whole year away. A lot of training for everyone in the world. So who knows? Maybe everyone will go as good as me at the same pace. Anyways, had a great open. Hope you guys had a great open too. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. We'll be getting back into our Road to Sanctional videos here soon. Peace out.